Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Urban Terror Nation Cup 18 for a game from the third round of the group stage, this time from Group B, with Belgium going up against USA. And Belgium, this is the second year for them to be playing together and they look really strong. They almost went on par with Portugal in the match in round 1, and by beating Colombia last round, they all pretty much have secured a place in the playoffs, since I find it very unlikely that Colombia will be able to beat Portugal this round. So the thing is though that when I've introduced this team the 2 other games, I did a lot of bad paperwork up to it, and there were a lot of factual errors. So let's try and see if we can rectify this. So playing for Belgium, we have Lucati, Logic, Rocket, Shane and Cyrox. Logic already playing back in Nation Cup 15 and 16, and just now returning this year for what would be his 3rd year in the Nation Cup, so he's the one who has played the most. And also joining this year we have Cyrox, playing at the time of this game also for Clan Fanatic Gamers, who placed themselves in the Division 2 of Team Survivor and captured the flag, but also got 4th place in the Bomb division, so still very high up in the skills. And then we also, returning from last year, we have Rocket, the captain of the team, Lucati and Shane. And both Rocket and Lucati actually playing together under Myth's Legion 2, which is placed in Team Survivor in Division 1, even getting silver in the playoffs, and also getting to the quarterfinals in the playoffs of the Capture the Flag Division 1-2. And then we also have Bomb, they also placed bronze, so they are really high up here. And then Shane, playing for various artists, also a very well-known team, placing 4th in Team Survivor Division 1, actually that is the playoffs, and also getting gold in Capture the Flag, most importantly, in the playoffs, and ending only in the middle of the group in Bomb though. But still, all of these players are very, very talented, and the 2 additions to the team this year look like they are amazing, and it worked really, really well for them. Almost getting Portugal there in the round 1, so still very much a team to be reckoned with, but they have to go up against USA. And they also played against this team last year, and back then they lost 0-2, and USA chose to be playing Capture the Flag on Abbey. And USA is a team that actually has gotten into the playoffs consistently since the Nation Cup 9, almost consistently also getting into the quarterfinals too. And all the way back from this very Nation Cup, we have Camuras playing, who also plays for the 6th floor and just fragging, placing him at the very top of all Urban Zone leagues. And then we also have Tarquin playing since Nation Cup 12. He had a little break, just like Camuras, but has been back for quite some time now, and he's still rocking the SR8, also playing just like Camuras for 6th floor and just fragging. And then we have Moscow Jones playing for what would be 3 years since Nation Cup 15, only playing for the 6th floor, so he is only placed at 3rd Division Team Survivor and 2nd Division Capture the Flag, but that is also a few years ago. And then just last year we had Assel and K-Bar joining, and Assel, very importantly, the actively playing leader of Ace, who have placed in the top 2 of pretty much every game mode imaginable. Even the ones that aren't played, they will probably end up there too. And K-Bar, having played for Dynasty, but hasn't really played much outside of Nation Cup anymore since for several years, just like Tarquin. A lot of these players actually just mostly only returning for the Nation Cup, but still very much doing a great job at it nevertheless. And there's really no surprises in the map choices of either team. We're going to start off with the map of choice of USA, and they're going to start with Capture the Flag on Abbey. Just really a classic and solid choice. Not only is it just the massive amounts of experience that USA has on this map, on this very game mode. I mean, this and Algiers are the 2 Capture the Flag maps that they do know so very well, but also, as I said earlier, they did win on this map last year against the very same team. And I would really be surprised if Belgium are going to be able to get even close, but I'm still not going to write them off, but it should be easy points here for USA to take. And then we're going to follow it up with Team Survivor onto Hunga, the map of choice of Belgium. That is the very map that Belgium played against Portugal in the round 1 and lost by merely a tiny margin of one singular round. Or two, I think. 1 or 2. They're certainly, though, really good on this map and really capable of making a fight. They really just have chosen this map saying that they just want to be fighting USA on even grounds and just thinking that they can beat them on their own best map and not trying to figure out what USA is the worst at. So I really, really like this. But before anything to Hunga, we're going to start with Abbey. And when playing it in Capture the Flag, in my opinion, the very most important thing here is to get control of the middle, being the central room. And that is not only just due to the fact that the red side attack path just go directly through it, so makes a lot of sense that you would want to have control of this very area you would go through and never either way, but more important, the red defenders cannot really move out onto their own fountain area or just further onto the cathedral when blue players have control of the central room, because they can then be flanked, and that is also an open opportunity to try to take the flag. So when you have the central room, the red defenders can move out, and with that they can also support down through the street the red attackers. And very much the same also goes the other way around. If you have the central room as the blue side defenders, you can support your blue side attackers. So really that room is, in my opinion, the most important thing to get. And Belgium is going to start on the red side, which is the easier one on Abbey, but this is going to be an uphill battle for Belgium to win against none other than USA. So we're going to start off here with Shane, taking defensive positions at the lower side of the stairs. And a few shots are going off, the Americans trying to see if they can peek in. Shane though just going to go in, trying to go into the fountain area, but Locati, Cyrus and also Logic went down, and 2 of them actually were sticking through almost all of the wave respawn, meaning that there was an opening of 5 versus 3, which Moscow Jones did try to see if he could exploit, but he didn't get all the way gone. And with Assel and only one left for America, he couldn't really move further in, so he just holds down the angle, tries to see if he can push Belgium back. But now Shane trying to see if he can go in all the way to David's courtyard, so Belgium pretty much actually getting quite a lot of map control here. And also finding one of the Americans, finds Assel, gets him down too, and also goes into the crossway, interestingly enough. But Locati also taking a peek onto the flag, but just retreats while the wave hits, because he couldn't get in with that amount of HP and also get out before any of the Americans would be able to kill him. So Cameras now going into the central room after having killed one Belgian. Isn't enough. Logic is still there. Logic also getting K-Bar down, and Moscow Jones now all the way from the cathedral trying to see if he can reinforce and deny this flag capture here. But Rocket now also trying to hold down the angle, denying any hunting down of the flag carrier here. Cyrox taking the flag all the way through this most safe route. It's slow, but it is the most safe one. And for an 18 seconds flag capture time. That was a weird sentence to say, but nevertheless, it is a 1-0, Belgium in the lead. Moscow Jones here trying to see if he can do a counter flag capture, or at least trying to see if he can tie it up. Shane and Locati trying to see if they can hunt it down, almost getting right on top of it. Cameras just with 4 HP retrieves it all the way into the spawn, and Logic also dropping the flag and Cameras returning it, so Logic going in almost onto the spawn area together with the flag, but just to be killed by the flag carrier itself. Interesting choice, and with that it's now a 1-1. Logic now in the central room, having to go all the way around to be sure that he can try and retrieve the flag. Is just centimeters away, but is killed immediately here by Assel, who brings it over to K-Bar, who's going to trying to see if he can get it all the way back. Cyrus trying to see if he can cut it off, but it isn't enough. K-Bar does go all the way up the stairs and goes for a 2-1. USA now in the lead. And Assel here trying to see if he can push in together with another fellow American. Is going to be killed, but Locati now against 3 other Americans, just holding down the central room here. And now Logic and Lucati trying to push in onto the flag. 2 versus 1. Fine engagements here taken. Even have the spare time to just kill for the HP. And Gus go in for a 2-2, tying it up again. Belgium doing really, really well. I mean, it is the easier side. And it is only tied, so it isn't as good as you would hope it to be. But it's still very good. Cameras are going into the central room with pretty much his pants down, getting killed. And a rocket now from the street all the way over. Now again, 3 Belgians right onto the flag with all of the Americans dead. They cannot pretty much hunt this down before it's going to go in. Rocket holding even down on the defense, even touching the flag just before it goes down. So he was trying to go do a double flag capture here. Logic trying to also go in. Does go down here to Hassel. And Cyrox here going to go in, just barely evades the nades. And almost gets in, touches the flag. K-Bar though gets him down, retrieves the flag, and now also tries to see if he can take control of the central room. Finds 1 Belgian, also finds 2 others from the spawn. And Hassel here holding down the crossway with almost no HP, trying to see if he can just take the flag just around the corner at least. But Belgium again, trying to see if they can go on and try to see if they can do a counter flag capture. Rocket also pushing out onto the street so that they can get the flag back. Camo was having a sneaky attack here but didn't connect at all. And Moscow Jones from the other side, from the cathedral, reinforcing, gets onto the flag, is also killed though. Cyrox in a good angle here. 2 versus 1. Gus go into the flag, but they do not really have much HP. And K-Bar does focus on the correct person at first, getting both of them actually down, denying that 1 extra flag capture. And Hassel also finding 1 from the side at the cathedral. And still, again though, only at the crossway with 26 HP, so he's not going to be the one who's going to carry the flag all the way back, but he does go in right onto the stairs on the defenders. Cameras backstabbing 1 of the Belgians. Logic trying to see if he can, who just tried to see if he could cut off the flag capture. And now also does go all the way around, trying to see if he can backstab other Belgians. Does get Rocket right from the side and also does go in for a very nice slide here. Very interesting that there were no Belgians at all trying to kill him from behind. He was very exposed actually for quite a long time. And now also doing the lemming thing. Just timed so very perfectly. Really nicely done for a 4-3. Not a 5-3, a 4-3. Might be a 5-3 later, but not now. K-Bar in from the side, trying to see if he can reinforce Tarquin's attack onto the flag. Does go down to Shane though. And Logic and Lucati again trying to push onto the flag from the central room. Seemingly worked. Logic though going down. Lucati though trying to follow it up. Does get almost barely into the central room. Tarquin though is going to retrieve the flag. And the nade is not going to be able to do anything to hold the flag just around the corner of the central room. Rocket trying to see if he can gain grounds here on the crossway is going to go down. And Logic and Rocket being killed for quite a long time. USA are able to get pushed straight onto the flag. And Moscow Jones getting quite far in. Shane though sitting far back, just holding down the ankle. So it is still denied. So still no flags captured. Cameras though following it up. It's just a fair trade. And now also trying to see if they can get control of the central room. And Rocket though is prepared for it. It is going to bleed to death though. And now also Hassel killing 1. And now also an HE grenade killing 2 players. None of the Belgians are alive. So Moscow Jones just running straight in. And Hassel and Cameras ready to cut off any of the Belgians. And Hassel also ready here with enough stamina to do a double flag capture. If he at least had slitten, he would... Slitten, is that even the way you say that word in past? Or well, nevertheless, grammar may not be my best thing, but nevertheless, Moscow Jones here gets the flag. I really like how Hassel just realized he didn't have the stamina for just walking over there, running over to the flag in time, so he just went into the spawn area to make a safe 6th flag. And Logic now also fading with that nade, so it didn't get all the way into the side. And K-Bar holding down onto the crossway. just trying to hold down the angle for Assel to retrieve the flag, or retreat with the flag. Is going to be killed though, so Belgium denying another flag capture here. Shane getting one of them, but Moscow Jones does the trade, and there's no other Belgians left. Cam was being ready for Cyrox now, just right beneath him. And Tarquin also now going through the tunnel for a flank onto the flag. And finding one of the Belgians in the central room, finding another, almost getting Locati down there for 25 HP. Moscow Jones trying to see if he can get the flag over to the crossway, is going to be killed. And Rocket here juking it out with Assel. He does get the better end of it in the end. But still 1 minute left here for a 7-3 for USA, with USA on the blue side. More difficult one of the two. So USA have a very convincing start for this half. So I was here trying to see if he can cut off the 8th capture of USA. But he just doesn't get around the corner to not be killed by the supporting players. And Assel here just making sure that none of the Belgians are going to be able to move out of the spawn. Locati just going straight, trying to see if he can go into the central room from the side to just be supporting Logic. Does go down to Camo's HE grenade. Does the lemming thing again. Is this a little bit mistimed, so he's out for 10 seconds or 12. Tarquin though still just holding down the flag. And Moscow Jones getting one down, so it's a trade right at the crossway, but Belgium still being able to push out onto the cathedral. But that is still an 8-3 to USA. It started off really well, it was a 2-2. While that is still not good for being on the easier side, it's still very, very nice looking results. At least better than what I had expected, but in the end, with an 8-3, that was more something that I had expected. So, really though, I don't really see what Belgium are doing wrong. They are focused really hard. We did see 3 players in the central room. Maybe they actually focus a little bit too hard, because a lot of the American players or American flag captures were retreated down through the street and down to the cathedral. So maybe they have to focus a little less on the central room and a little less on counter flag captures and the like, and just focus on getting a little bit more map control. Yes, the central room is important, but maybe you don't need 3 players, but only 2 players on that. So let's go straight on to the second half here. So now Belgium are going to be on the blue side, and as I said, it is the more difficult of the two, so we probably can expect this one to go much more roughly than the other. Shane though holding it very convincingly down here at first. 3 or 4 Americans were trying to move in. While most of the Americans were still alive at the end, they were still slowed down so much that they weren't able to move onto the flag before any of the Belgians would be able to respawn. And now Logic here with a few nades into the central room, trying to see if he can push back any of the Americans. The last nade though, not really doing much, but Cyrox here following it up, getting one of them down. Camo's though still at the fountain, holding just down on the flag. Shane trying to see if he can hold Camo's down as the 3rd attacker onto the flag. And Locati also trying to see if he can cut off any flag captures, but Camo is just flying by faster than lightning. Is that even a sentence? I don't care. Sounds cool. So it is still a 2-0 after another really fast flag capture. Belgium here trying to see if they can just hold down on the crossway. Moscow Jones trying to go for a 3rd flag capture. It is actually going to be denied this time. Tarquin here pushing through the tunnel, but Moscow Jones following it up. Stare in the end does get the flag all the way, and now Assel here going for the 4th. And Rocket trying to see if he can go through the tunnel to cut it off is also not just fast enough. So Assel here for the record now of a 6 seconds capture time. All of the Americans though, with that counter push, have been able to be killed. So Locati here also getting the very first flag capture here for Belgium, getting it down to a 4-1. But if they want to get any close to the getting it back to a tie, they would still need 3 + 5, that is 8 flag captures. That's quite a lot. So K-Bar here going in, taking control of the cathedral. And Shane just trying to see if he can hold down onto the flag area itself, but with 3 Americans there. And Locati trying to see if he can do a flank and backstabbing with some of the Americans. Just Assel and Moscow Jones does go down, but still the flag has been taken. And Rocket there holding down on quite a lot of people here. But still, just from the central room, Assel goes in, takes the flag. Camera is also holding down and supporting the retrieval of the flag. For what is most likely a 5th flag capture. After 13 seconds time. And K-Bar just holding down the crossway on any respawning players of Belgium. Assel here trying to see if he can take control of the central room. Shane does hold it down. But from the tunnel, we have Tarquin does bleed to death to Logic. And some nades into the central room, making sure that at least they're not going to be pushing within the next few seconds. And American are trying to see if they can push onto the crossway. Cameras does get around the corner. Logic does get him down there in the end. Rocket going through the tunnel here. Trying to see if he can get the player in the central room. Does go down to Tarquin here, just as he tries to go into the spawn. Logic trying to hold down on the flag. Assel does go in. Moscow Jones taking the flag. And also killing Cyrox on his retreat. And K-Bar now with pretty much with all of the Americans respawning, they are just right in time able to get any supporting fire to their one capturing player. Assel though, with Rocket the only one even close enough to get the flag, he is just being killed, and there, just Shane holding it down like an amazing person, just being the man. He just gets the flag denied for us, so at least they can push out. They pretty much got control of the crossway this time, and Rocket also here in the tunnel. Belgium getting a lot of grounds. They could maybe go for a 2nd flag capture if they can get the one deciding kill to get the opening. Logic also trying to see if he can push out into the central room. Gets Assel with that. And does also now push onto the fountain area. And tries to see if he can go around for a flank. Finds Moscow Jones. And does push further out. His position should be known, so Cameras just turns around, kills him. Cyrox though going up the stairs, finding Cameras. Having no stamina though to really retreat fast enough for any of the Americans not to be able to hunt him down. So Assel gets him, and K-Bar now also in the crossway goes over to the cathedral, gaining grounds. Assel here from the side, from the central room, goes down through the tunnel, gets Rocket right just when sliding by. Shane though coming from behind, hunting them down, gets the flag retrieved. But the flag again already taken by Americans. Going through the central room, Cameras here for 7th flag capture on this very round alone. Locati, though trying to hold down on the crossway, it is not really working that very well. And Cameras here with a lot of stamina is going to take the flag the very last few meters. And Moscow Jones now also trying to see if he can push in for a 2nd flag capture. Does not really get the kill there, so he's just going to hold down the central room for none of the Belgians going to be able to go in. And the Belgians are really just trying to regain control of their own flag sides here. Logic going for the 1 HP kill with a nade into the central room. It's not going to get the kill with that. Moscow Jones does go down to the AG grenade of Shane, and Assel too by the grenade by Assel. Oh no, someone else, but nevertheless. It was followed up by a lot of kills on the Americans, but that was just when the wave respawn hits. So Shane now up against quite a lot of the Americans, trying to see if he can backstab from the spawn area of America, but just is killed. They did expect that. Tarquin though, with not a lot of stamina, still gets out of the flag area through the central room, All of the Belgians though, having respawned, trying to see if they can hold down the angle, denying any possibility for Tarquin to just get it the very last few meters. The camera is now the only one that's still alive. Locati trying to see if he can go in, take the flag from America, and the flag is just retrieved by Tarquin, and also simultaneously capping that one extra flag. That was quite a manly move there. That is a weird sentence, nevertheless. I'm a little bit rusty, sorry. It's like 2 weeks ago that I did any other videos, so I'm a little rusty, but nevertheless. We have Rocket here trying to go in from the side, gaining some ground here at the tunnel, finding one of the Americans, getting Tarquin down. And now also following up, trying to see if they can go in from the side, finding another American, just hold it down or leave his attention away for Shane to take the flag. And bring it all the way back for what should be a second flag capture. American though trying to see if they can respond down through the tunnel with 3 players. Is going to be trading though, only. But trading is more than enough when you have 3 people. And Shane though holding it down with them 1 nade. Tarquin though still alive, but does go down there to Logic in the end, and the flag is returned. And Locati are now at the crossway together with another Belgian, going to go and push in. Cameron's the only one still alive for USA, still much more than enough to just kill the one trying to see if he can take the flag. Tarquin trying to push out, is caught with a snake out, but Moscow Jones simultaneously from the central room go in and getting ready for what would be a little bit of a longer route because he doesn't have the stamina, but still a 10th flag capture here for USA. And there we go. Locati though already trying to see if he can take the red flag, and it is also captured here. So that was a very interesting way of doing it, but that was just pretty much a flag capture here for both teams within the same 6 seconds. And now also Belgium trying to go here for a 4th, and Shane holding down onto the central room, onto the 2 Americans going in. Cable though does get him down. Locati though trying to see if he can follow it up. One of the Americans trying to go in from the tunnel does take the attention away from Locati, getting him killed from behind. Tarquin now also together with a fellow American does go in onto the flag, and being very much a nuisance for Assel here to take the flag. But still, Belgium here getting the flag again all the way over to the street. Cameras though going to return it here in the end, but Rocket from behind is going to be blocked here by 1. So Assel is going to be able to take the deny the very last kill, but it wasn't enough nevertheless to get the flag home with the round just ending. So, as we probably all expected, USA won this one very convincingly. I'm not even sure what the scoreline would have ended at. Something like 18-5, 18-7. Yeah. You shouldn't do math on stream, you say, and I will. That's a lesson I still need to learn. But really, Belgium trying their best, but not being able to just hold down on all the angles and crumbling there in the end, especially. No, USA leaving themselves very open in the very end for Belgium just to get a few points there. So, now we're going to go on to Trahunga, the map that I'm actually looking forward to in this series. And that is just because both of these teams are at least somewhat evenly matched. And also just because Trahunga is such an amazing map. It's just a map that offers the full spectrum of strategies if you want to. It just supports all the different playstyles, and Belgium already having shown a great understanding of playing this map when they played against Colombia and against Portugal. So, and the reason why I say it has offers so many possibilities in the strategies department is just because you can, if you want to do slower strategies similar to what you do on Casa, you can do it like we saw Colombia do when they tried to play against Belgium, and it worked even sometimes, but most of the time they didn't really have the skill to follow it up to win the engagements they needed to actually make the slower, more trading, kill trading kind of a style work. But not only can you do slow strategies, you can also do much faster and more aggressive stuff. And this is just due to the smaller size and just how easy it is to move around on this very map. And this approach, being a very aggressive, having a very heavy focus on one area alone, is the current meta. We saw Belgium do it, Portugal, Poland, France, and the very first time I've seen it is actually with Australia back in Nation Cup 17. The very first time we saw this very map played. And when I played it back for Denmark, that was also the strategy we used, or some variation on it. So, the classic example though for this strategy is just when spawning at mechanics, because then you have most of your team, or quite a lot of your team, being aggressively pushing right onto hotel and just taking control of something that you would usually call the opponent's side of the map. So, I think you should be looking forward to a high-paced and amazing map 2 in this series. So USA is going to be playing in the red colors, while Belgium going to be playing, of course, in the blue, because that's the only color left, but nevertheless. Good luck and have fun. This map should be the more interesting of the two. Logic here going to be playing again with the SO8, holding down the angle, trying to do a little bit of a peek down to Picnic, or Birds. Sorry, down to Birds, having the intel at least. The K-bar is going to go over there. K-bar though, just holding down the angle, so USA very much doing the slower approach, but now also trying to see if they can push onto the hotel, while Belgium trying to see if they can push out from the silo simultaneously. Cameras going to go in, does go down to Cyrex here. Moscow Jones though doing the trade, but still, and with that USA, with only 3 players left, have taken control of hotel. Logic and Rocket, the only players left here for Belgium, are going to be trying here to stay at bench. And does get the first one down from America. Rocket, the only one left, does go down to Moscow Jones here in the end, with K-bar flanking from the other side. So great coordination here from USA. Tiger here in the middle, just holding down it with the SO8. Missing that one shot, but nevertheless. Shane throwing in a nade. Cyrex also getting Moscow Jones down, so Belgium off to a really good start. Getting Moscow Jones and Tarquin down. Shane though going to move now in onto Null's house. All the way down to 1 HP. Does bleed to death here. And Logic getting Cameras down. But Logic is the only one left here against K-bar and Assel. Does go up against them both at the same time. Assel does die, but K-bar does do the trade for a second round here to USA. Assel here just holding down from on the water tank and the bridge. And with even trades, Belgium have taken control of the hotel, though Lucati now also going down. Logic doing the battle here with Tarquin in the middle with the SO8s. Rocket trying to see if he can push on into the water tank. Does take 2 of the Americans down before going down to Cameras. So it's now only Logic going up against Assel. Gets the kill with still 58 HP left for a first round here to Belgium for a 2-1. As I said, this is going to be much more of an evenly matched map. So it seems like the team's actually going to deliver on that promise I've made. And now Lucati here together with Cyrex trying to see if they can push on onto the hotel. Cyrex also going down though to Moscow Jones. And Logic the only one left here for Belgium. Or out in the open, right on top of the bridge. Cameras out of bullets, but that doesn't matter. Moscow Jones is able, right from the hotel, to take the final kill. So USA here spawning at the eastern side, just taking in positions. K-bar though going down, so an early good pick here for Belgium. They can work really well off of that. And Belgium going to go for a move on the push straight onto bench. Cameras though getting ready together with Assel right in the storeroom. Lucati trying to hold down on Assel, moving out. Does go down and bleeding there in the end, so it's Cyrex up against Moscow Jones and Cameras. Doing a jumping shot, doesn't find any of the Americans. Finds Cameras, but doesn't get him there in the end, so Again, a round here going to USA. USA beginning to get quite a lead on Belgium. And now USA going to take in positions very aggressively. It's very nicely done. A little bit risky, but that wasn't something that Lucati did expect, so he does go down. Cameras trying to go in a second time. Does go down to Cyrox this time. But is going to be traded by Moscow Jones, so it is still in favor of USA. Great coordination again. Moscow Jones getting Shane down, and Caber also getting Rocket. Again a trade, so Logic the only one left here for Belgium. Up against 3 Americans, finds one, doesn't connect at all with Moscow Jones. So a very, very convincing round here for USA. Caber just holding down the angle, getting the intel, but doesn't retreat there. Doesn't want to stay at that corner. I mean, you could probably if you were attacking with an S8. Or just had an S8. You might not need to be Tarquin, but I mean, that's always a plus. Shane though going to retreat to be healed up here by Rocket. And right now it's even trades. And Shane going to go onto Birds, finding Assel, going to do a crossfire here nicely with Rocket. And now also holding down the angle on the one American, trying to push out from water tanks. And now also healing up again. So they are taking quite a lot of damage. And Tarquin and Cameras are quite far down in this 2 versus 2. And none of them seemingly have any medic pack. So they have the HP advantage of Shane from behind. A nice crossfire. Rocket taking all the attention away from both of the American players. While Shane does slide up the stairs for a second round here to Belgium. Logic just staying here in, trying to see if he can get an early pick. Doesn't really get anything done, but a little trade and another kill here for USA. Gets them in the lead. And now they also try to push on to Null's house. Assel going in, final trades until now. Actually Belgium getting the better end of it. So now is all the way down to 1-1. Though it is 4 HP only to Logic, but 3 HP to K-Bar. This is just one hit for the kill. K-Bar gets the better end of it, jumping shot round the corner. For a 6th round to USA, a 6-2. I mean, there's still 15 minutes left. But if you extrapolate from how it's going right now, it's not boding that very well. But it's very interesting to see how USA are just going to do the slower approach, expecting Belgium here really to just be pushing. And when USA finally know that they have some kind of weak spot that they can exploit, they finally move on and move in. And Tyrox here, the very last one left at the hotel, does also go down with still 4 people from USA alive. Tarquin in, going to take in very aggressive stance here at the middle. Does whiff that shot again, but that's only really a headshot you have to take. And still somewhat finding it every time, but just very much Logic just ducking right in the nick of time, and also gets the better end of it, gets Tarquin down. Logic and Shane the only ones left up against Assel, so they just have to regroup, heal up a little bit. Assel though with 100 HP and splitting them in 2. Right down here in the hole, finds one of them though, and is going to move down the side. He knows that they are going to be healing up. Finds one, finds Shane, and is going to see if he can get for the second one. Gets already a few good hits in there. Does throw down the yellow 300 for the Desert Eagle and gets the final shot in for the 8th round to USA. And this time USA are trying to do a very aggressive push right onto the water tanks. Belgium going to actually try and see if they can respond rather nicely. Actually, if they respond really nicely, that push was really ineffective. Moscow Jones the only one still alive here for USA, and Cyrox and Lucati still alive for Belgium. It's a 2 versus 1. Lucati hunts Moscow Jones down for a 3rd round finally here to Belgium, but still 5 rounds has the thing that they need to get, and Lucati also seemingly being AFK all of a sudden. Ah, there you go, finally he is there. But still, USA having a 5 round lead, that's quite marginal, quite a substantial lead. And USA with all their players still alive, just mowing down all from Belgium. Cameras getting a few good hits in here, while Belgium are trying to see if to push onto water tanks. Getting Rocket down here at first, and Shane took 2, so getting some very important kills. Asel does go down to the Logic. Logic doing a lot of work, and even though that they had very rough start this round, they still turned it around for a 4th round here to Belgium. So still 5 rounds is still what they need to get this one just tied. But with what is already 13 rounds behind them, they still have the time for it. They just have to get the rounds in their favor. It's Shane versus Kava, and Shane does get the better end of it for only getting it down to a 4-round lead. So Belgium beginning to gearing up here. Belgium beginning to get the comeback going. I won't promise too much, but I'll just... let's just call it a comeback. I'll have to eat my words then. Nevertheless, Asel trying to go up here against Rocket at water tanks. Rocket does win that engagement, but Asel or Locati also going down on the other side of the map. All of Belgium regrouping here at the hotel and trying to see if they can push on to mechanics. USA going to be trying to push on into the hotel area. Does not go very well, but Moscow Jones going in from the side gets 2 of Belgians down. But still fair trades. And K-Bar, the only one left here for USA, gets Logic down. Ten minutes still left though, and only 5 rounds they have to win in a row to tie this thing up. Taiwan here going to be pushing onto the hotel. Or retreating, sorry. But Shane and together with another going to push out from water tanks and getting 2 of the Americans without any damage taken. So it's a 2 versus 2. Down from a 4 versus 2. And Rocket holding down the angle, getting cameras down, and also finding Tarquin, having the intel here, and Tarquin whiffing that one shot. Rocket is going to be able to follow it up, and Shane was ready for a crossfire from the hotel. Belgium this time spawning at mechanics, going to actually spread out this time. Cyrox going to still be pushing in onto the hotel, and Locati, together with Cyrox, going to try and see if they can push further onto the Null's house. That push though is going to go really badly, and Logic is the only one left here for Belgium, with still 3 Americans alive. K-Bar already spots Logic, so they do know where he is. Logic though not really going to try and retreat, just tries to see if he can hold down the angle, and when he holds the angle so very close with the SA8, you have to be really good if you want to nail that shot. Especially when you have players just jumping around the corners so very close and just so very fast. So I would probably have tried to retreat it all the way back to the hotel, even though you would be very much out of time to do that. So probably makes sense to just try and go for the shot then. And Belgium here trying to see if they can just hold on or push on to the hotel is also going to be crushed for still 5 players alive for USA. And there we go, USA going to be spawning at hotel, pushing out onto their side of the map. Belgium though at the same time also going to be trying to push onto the water tank. While Moscow Jones also taking control of hotel, just denying any push from mechanics. Lucati trying to retreat with only 10 HP is going to be hunted out here by Moscow Jones, and Logic the only one left here for Belgium at the water tanks. Does go up against Asel, does go down. And Belgium starting here at the storeroom, going to be spreading out this time again. Cyborgs go in, gets Moscow Jones in the back with 2 nice shots. Cameras also going down, and now Tarquin, or K-Bar, sorry, I just guessed there. But K-Bar going in, trying to see if he can retake the hotel area. Does not go that very well, but still Shane up against Tarquin, the very last 2 people. Shane gets the better end of it. Still though, USA ahead with 6 rounds. Belgium haven't been able to follow it up. Yes, they've been pretty much winning every second round for quite a substantial amount of time, but that doesn't change the 5-round lead that USA started off with. And Moscow Jones here, together with Tarquin, trying to retake their own water tank. And all of Belgium going down. Force only K-Bar and Camoas here for USA, so again, a very convincing round here for USA. And Tarquin also switching away from the XVIII, as he hasn't really been doing that very well with it, going for the LR300 instead. And we probably are going to then see USA going for a little bit more of an aggressive style, since they don't have the firepower of just holding down the angles with the XVIII, which is going to be very interesting to see. Logic trying to see if he can get the shot on Tarquin. Not finding it though. Asl does go down to Cyrox. K-Bar does too. Tarquin does go in, trying to see if he can follow it up. Camo is also getting Lucati down, making it pretty much a trade. But still, it's a 3-2. And Moscow Jones and Camos grouping up at the hotel. Camos going down, so it's only Moscow Jones now up against Logic, Rocket and Shane. Finds one, gets Shane in the bag. Does just move on. Go on to the water tank. Throws a nade just to try and hold him off. That one nade actually hurt quite a lot. Finds Rocket and Logic. Logic though taking just all the hits, not dying, just being in the tank, and Rocket takes the kill. So a nice round, but still USA getting a lot of time just wasted on that very round. Logic here trying to just stay in the corner, trying to make a crossfire without being killed, but Tarquin does go in, takes him down. Cyrox though trying to retake together with Rocket, Null's house and the water tank, and doing so very well. Asl, the only one left here, does go down to Cyrox too at Null's house, for finally again down to only a 4-round lead for USA. So still 5.5 minutes left for Belgium. Only 4 rounds to go to tie it up. And they need to to do more than just tying it up. If this ends in a tie, Belgium are going to lose it. And Rocket going to actually be losing his connection here too. This is just not doing very well. This is just not what you need when you're these many rounds behind. As although the only one left here for USA. Trying to stay in the corner, just waste time for Belgium. But they hunt him down, find him very fast for a round that is only 30 seconds long. Getting it down all the way to a 3-round difference. And Cyrox and Lucati getting a few good hits in here, but it is also the favor is returned. Lucati though and Cyrox getting Cam and K-Bar down, and Lucati now trying to push on into mechanics, gets one of them down. It is a trade still, so Shane and Rocket for Tarquin and Moscow Jones, the only one alive. A 2 versus 2. Rocket going to try and move around the side. Moscow Jones finds Shane. So it's only Rocket. All alone. Going over to the hole. Is spotted though. Gets Tarquin down. Does move around the side. Now is not the time to lose your connection. Having to hold 2 corners. Does get Moscow Jones there right when he tried to retreat around the corner. Nicely done, Rocket climbing on getting Belgium back in it. Actually just all of them doing really well. And USA this time just going to push straight from hotel onto mechanics. Lucati though only going down, Asl and Tarquin already down. So it's even trades. K-Bar now also too. Rocket going to try and see if he can heal up Shane. Cameras and Moscow Jones are going to be actually getting them just right in the open. And hunting down the very last one too. For what was a pretty nice start here for Belgium, and very cringy start somewhat even for USA. But they did turn it around there in the end. Take it just a deep breath and just turn around. But still Belgium starting off with a very heavy push from water tanks onto the bench. And only Camoas and Moscow Jones are alive for USA. And now Lucati 4 Moscow Jones. An even trade, so it's Cameras up against 4 of the Belgians, does go down to Rocket alone. So it's all the way down to a 2-round difference. But still, Belgium behind, so they have to push. They have to keep on rushing. Logic, knowing that already one American is all the way over at the couple area, I think it's called. He's going to try and see if he can take that early pick, but USA going all the way around from the north south, just going to shut it all down, and now it is Shane all alone up against Cameras and K-Bar. Does get Sassel down. Up against 2 at the same time. Does get K-Bar down there, but Cameras does take it in the end. And still only 2 minutes and 20 seconds here for 3 rounds. They just have to nade obvious spots for Belgium to go. So Belgium really just giving up on the rushing part and just going to try and see if they can go for early picks in good positions. And does do very well with that. Sarix though getting very far down, so it's 2 people pretty much out for Belgium until they have healed up. But doesn't matter, Shane does just take care of it. All down, gets K-Bar down. We're back to a 2-round difference for still 2 minutes left. Still very much possible, but no round should go to USA. And USA have no reason to do anything that is a wash. Lucati already starting off really well, but that one nade here by Assel and 1 kill here by Moscow Jones are going to be getting pretty much the nail in the coffin, because this is 3 rounds in 1.5 minutes. Belgium have to get really fancy if they want to get this very fast points on the board. Shane here trying to see if he can push in. Does get K-Bar down, and Logic simultaneously getting Tarquin. But simultaneously, everyone except Logic have fallen for Belgium. And Logic still trying to hold down on the hotel. Does go down though in the end. For another round here to USA. So it's now again a 4-round difference. Something that you just cannot do in 1 minute still left in the game. You could probably get like 1 round before and just hit the 0-second marker and get 1 extra round in here, but sadly. But still, Belgium doing a very nice job here. This is still an 18-14. This has been a very close game. Belgium all the time, very possibly getting the getting the comeback to happen, and still again a round here going to Belgium. So this comeback has been possible all the way from the start, all the way to the 1 minute left. So 19 minutes of the game still being very much undecided. Still it has been a great game. And look at, for example, this round, this second last round, as it seems. We're going to. K-Bar was the only one left here for USA, but now USA taking out a little bit of the joking weapons. K-Bar actually with the HK69 gets one of the Belgians, and 1 clean sweep. USA takes the very last round. But still, very much a close match, and Belgium, if they had just done it a little differently, or they had a little bit of a better day, they could probably even have taken this one home. So still though, this means that USA is going to take this series home with 2-0, bringing 4 more points on the table for them, staying on the top of the Group B together with Portugal, since Portugal just beat Colombia 2-0. But this also does mean that Belgium are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Next up is going to be the very last game from the group stage. It's Germany going up against the United Kingdom in the 5th round of Group D. Don't go away. Actually, you have to, but get back next time. See ya.